please give us something to play with, at least for the next few hours, because the town wants to know whether, for example, Fraser Campbell is going to be available to you. Danny Simpson, you tell us what you would like to.
Well, we've definitely got some injury issues. There's no hiding place from that. It's been a real challenge all week as to where we are in terms of fit bodies. Sometimes I think you have these moments, and I think when you have an unbalanced squad at the beginning, and then you pick up some contact injuries, which we have, the likes of Jaden Brown and Tommy Elphick, where there's not too much that you can do about it. Then all of a sudden you can create, or a sort of snowball effect can be created, and then you start to maybe use players that aren't quite able to put games together. You know, someone like Alex Pritchard we had available, and then played him Saturday and then played him Tuesday, which is where we were with the squad. And he probably, off the back of that, felt some fatigue, which you naturally would when you haven't played for a period of time. I think probably Fraser Campbell and Danny Simpson might come into that category as well, having had no pre-season, no real background. Because of where we were with the numbers, we've probably had to play them more than maybe what they were physically capable of at this moment. And that is the position that we're in. And it's not easy. But it is what it is. We've called 4 of the young players back from loan spells. Apologise to their loan clubs for doing that. We wouldn't do that unless we felt that it was necessary, and we wouldn't do it to the young players if we didn't think that they were going to come in and play a pivotal role in the coming weeks. But we see that, and we see a real opportunity for them.
Let's cut to the chase, Danny. Your appraisal of the team after Bristol City away was refreshingly honest, even if it's the kind of honesty that you probably didn't want to be using at the time. Fans clearly appreciate it nevertheless. And I guess what people want to hear around Huddersfield is that the players have had a tough week on the training ground, and you've spent a lot of time correcting the flaws of Ashton Gate.
I think for me, I'll always deal in the truth. I'll always say as it is. I'm used to having success. I'm used to winning. I've spent 13 years getting on the right side of football results, and when I lose, I don't like losing. And I think sometimes you can accept losing when you've been beaten by the better team, or when maybe you've made technical and tactical errors, but I don't think you should ever come up short in the effort and attitude stakes. And I thought some, not all, I thought some did on Saturday, and I stand by what I said, because I genuinely believe the Huddersfield Town supporters deserve the truth. I believe our players deserve the truth. I believe they deserve the truth from me, and I'll always look them in the eye. And with me, I'm a pretty simple man. I will say it to their face. There would be nothing that I wouldn't say to them that I will then say to you. And I just believe that if you do that and you're willing to take responsibility, and listen, first and foremost, before I look at anyone else, I look at myself. And Nicky will be the same. We'll always look at ourselves, what we could have done better. But then your role and your responsibility as a manager is to give feedback to your team, and your players, so that they can learn from the experience too. And I think if you do that and you have the right characters, then they're willing to accept that and take that on board. And it's only ever to help people. That's what it is. You know, my natural instinct is to help people, and I wake up every day trying to help the players improve and get better.
You've been Huddersfield Town manager long enough now to know perhaps how much anticipation there is about any game against Leeds United. What do you make of your next opponent and the prospects for the derby?
Well, it's a game that we're definitely looking forward to. When we took over the job, we were made pretty aware quite quickly that it was an important game for everybody associated with the club. It's not the easiest of local derbies. I've definitely had easier local derbies. But it's a great game. Probably the form book goes out of the window, and maybe league positions go out the window in local derbies. We see it as a one-off game and a little bit like a cup match. We're very respectful of Marcelo Bielsa and his Leeds United team. There's not many people that you would class as a pioneer in football, but I can remember I would have remembered his Chile team. I would have been young, playing at Wembley against England, and first time I'd ever seen a team play as open and expansive as his team did. They would have split the centre halves to the corner flags, dominated possession on the day against a good England team, played across the 11 lines, and played in a way that I'd never seen before. And probably from that moment onwards, you were, as someone who loved the game and always wants to learn, we've obviously kept a keen eye on what he's done and how he's done it. And he's got his Leeds United team playing a really aggressive brand of football, play with a huge intensity. They run really, really hard for each other, play with purpose, and they're going to be a really, really tough opponent. We look forward to that challenge. I think when you ultimately break Leeds United down, it's about passing and it's about running. They pass and they run forward. Lots of third man runs, lots of penetration. You can see they work very, very hard on the double movements and their counter movements and have a real understanding of each other's space. And when they haven't got the ball, they want to press really aggressively. And it's been enjoyable to do the analysis and to get to this point and to obviously formulate a game plan that will allow us to be competitive in the game.
I'd share that experience with you, if I may, Danny, from my layman's point of view, because I've had to be a student of Leeds United in the build-up to the derby. But there is also a slight trepidation in there, because if your players were to fall short of standards required, well, how much fear of failure is there?
Well, I think for us, we're going to be a young team tomorrow. We're going to have young players and, maybe a little bit short in experience, but not short in terms of enthusiasm. And, when you're in this moment, the positive that comes out from a difficult moment is opportunity. And young people are often good at taking opportunity. And, I think the great thing about being young is sometimes you're fear-free. If you've never experienced something, you're not going to be fearful of what you're going into. So we expect to play with a youthful enthusiasm. We expect to play with an energy. We understand that it's a big challenge in front of us. It's probably a little bit like climbing a mountain. And we understand that when you're at the bottom of that mountain looking up, it can look a daunting prospect, but we're going to try to break the game down. We're going to try to attack it in sizable chunks and going to see if we can find a way of getting on the right side of it.